I got Jason in here, buddy.
All right. So there was a couple things they discussed in yesterday's meeting that were, now that they've got all this framing in here, now they start to see problems, and some of it I'm worried is some installed ductwork. And I want to make sure that I'm not messing you up. Also, there's some over the high limits bar that you're probably installing right now as we speak. That I want to make sure that we get these adjustments made if they can be made. So I don't know if you were in the meeting yesterday. You can see this is right inside that front entrance.
I was in the meeting yesterday because I pissed you off.
Yeah, I know.
Bastard.
That's exactly right. Man, we had skated clear of all that stuff, and then you blew it for us.
It was going to show its wicked head. It was going to rear its head eventually.
Yeah, but I had them meeting planned with Spencer, which that's one thing we can get into. Okay. Is we had that meeting with Spencer this morning. Okay. Right. Obviously, we ended up finding out that none of this shit was fabricated, so we can still make the necessary adjustments. But I want to review with you as well what we came up with on that diffuser.
All right.
Jason, you were correct. It was a bottom mounted, it was a bottom blowdown diffuser, like you had said. I think they call it a flat face slot diffuser.
Yep.
But I think we need to make it a sidewall diffuser. But we'll go into that in a second. I want to review these couple things to make sure that you can get the people in the field after lunch to hold on that high limits if you need to make these adjustments. All right?
Okay.
But the first one I've got is this supply that comes out and feeds just west of the main entrance. This duct. I don't know how I did that, but I put that in the wrong location.
Yeah, it should have been back inside the bulkhead, right?
Right inside this bulkhead.
Yeah. So is this in the southwest corner? Looks like.
No, I wouldn't call it. I would call it.
Or no? Okay, I got you. It's right there by the porte-cochere.
Right by the porte-cochere, exactly. It's the first one on the open gambling floor as you go west from the porte-cochere as you come in.
Yep.
All right. It doesn't look like it's really a lot of difficulty. You'll just end up moving this tap down and flexing that flex around there. It's just basically making that shift. You probably want to go just about to the steel before you drop down.
Yeah, I don't think we've installed that yet. I have to look in the field to make sure, but I'm pretty sure we have not installed that as of yet.
Okay.
So that's a correction we can make beforehand. Pretty sure.
I will be updating the model, so then the Deluxe will show that. So when they get to installing it, they should at least, if you don't have the paper print yet, you will have the updated information in the Deluxe.
10-4.
All right.
Yep.
So I want to review the ones that they're trying to move because of secondary grid issues. And I believe it was the makeup air. Yep, this is the makeup air feeding down to Ramsey's kitchen. Which that doesn't make any sense because Jair was showing that was running into the secondary grid yesterday. We're not running into the secondary grid. All right, I'll review that one with Jair. Now, this one, I do believe hits the secondary grid, and we told them tough cookies. Jair doesn't have the correct secondary grid in. Blue ginger. Let's see. So, the other was the Starbucks kitchen, which I can't imagine you're real far on the Starbucks kitchen yet. Let me get a good view of it. Hold on. Trying to find something I can snap to. Cut to that. So if we look at Starbucks, right there's the Starbucks. All right. They needed me. Maybe it was up there. Boy, I don't know where that one's at. Fire makes this really tough. This was a fire protection line that we were running into by a couple inches. We need to get him to review that with us again at 2 o'clock. I'll be able to speak to that better. I'm going to go to the high limits bar. Let me get my orientation right. High limits bar is these guys back here. All right. So what happens is, and am I correct that that's where you're installing right now?
Yes, we are installing right now as we speak in that area.
It's these two offsets right here. Now that he's put the framing in, you see how that tears up all their framing?
Yep.
What we want to do is we want to do it very similar to the other side, which is just keep that all at that one level, get rid of those two offsets. And the only thing you should need to do is now this little piece right here will have to have an offset in it to get up. You see how I had lifted it up and then went and kept this all flat. If just this one leg, and probably, to be honest with you, you could probably just hold that thing short and flex over to there. It looks like you have enough distance. That one.
So you're talking about taking those offsets out and leaving it at which elevation?
At the elevation that you've hung the VAVs at.
At the elevation we hung the VAV. So do we have room below that? Okay, never mind. We're out the side of that makeup area.
You see, that keeps us all up high in that thing.
I was thinking we were under that makeup area, but we're not, I guess.
Oh, I see one. I see
what
one.
That sprinkler line.
You see? Nope. You'll be above the sprinkler line. You are above the sprinkler line already.
Okay. I got you.
However, like I said, I noticed this yesterday. We're talking about this spot and this spot. You'll end up having to go underneath, but also this branch and this branch, you might want to tap into the bottom of the duct.
All right. Can you go ahead and upload that in the model?
All right, yeah. By all means, that'll get uploaded today in the model.
Okay.
If you're comfortable with it.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with that.
All right,
we haven't installed that yet, so
perfect. So that'll get uploaded tonight into the model.
10-4.
I really don't know what they did with the Ramsey's kitchen. I'd like to see that a little bit better because
just those two there on the outside there. That's got to be done like it.
Yes, just these two right here. This guy, here, and
Yep.
here.
Yep.
If you just hold at the VAV till I update the model tonight, then I'll give you the routing that you need in the
Simple.
model for tomorrow.
That works.
All right.
Yep.
I do not understand, Mike. I don't think Mike's on. Do you remember? Did you guys see in the meeting when? Because I think this is after you left, Paul. He was saying that we had a secondary grid interference with that makeup air, and I just don't see it.
Which one is that?
That's the makeup air that comes down here and feeds Ramsey's kitchen.
Oh, that's MAU5. Hello, that's already in.
What's the one you and I looked at yesterday?
I mean, that's already installed and filling. I don't see any discrepancy,
Well, and that's the way it appears. And I think that this is just Jair in how he's running things. So I will review that guy. Now you sent me a PDF of a new VAV. Did you guys look at that at all? That was the VAVs, I'm assuming, for this quarter.
Yeah, I looked at it. We went in the field and looked at it, and it's only like a 3-inch, almost a 3-inch difference in between the height of the ones he proposed to us versus the ones we got now. And so they're not going to work either.
They're not going to work either.
Nope. My best suggestion for that, Brian, is to go with some cylinder-mounted cartridge mini splits, and go ahead and put on it.
You proposed that to Ian yesterday, or someone did, and he's thinking that over.
Yep, that's my best suggestion, probably for all of these lobby areas that we're having the same issue in, is to put 2 cartridge units in there for mini splits, and you run the line set straight up through the roof, set the units on the roof, mount the cartridge mini splits in the ceiling, and be done with it.
Okay, now
that's my opinion.
I hear you, and I don't disagree with you. Have you installed the ones at the east entrance?
No, we have not yet. These entrances are installed incorrectly right now. We have not moved them like we talked about yet.
Okay.
And I don't know now that the ceiling is in, all of that shit's in. We're gonna play hell trying to move those 2.
Because the ceiling's all been placed in there. Is that what you're telling me?
Yep, the bulkhead's in, the ceiling's in, everybody else is in, and it's tighter than Dick's hat band in that area now.
Gotcha.
I would much rather just put mini splits in every one of these damn lobbies and be done with it. If I can get them to bite on it.
Well, you laid that out there yesterday with Ian. Let's see what Ian ends up coming back with.
Because I just don't see a fix at all for that south lobby for sure. And this east lobby ain't gonna be much fucking easier. I don't know if I can get it where we're talking about getting it.
Yeah, well, and the irony is it's going to be this area, and this area, all the entrances.
Yep, you got the same problem at every lobby.
Yeah, and you've had the same problem for 1.5 years, and they never wanted to really resolve it, and that's why we are where we are.
Yep.
That dome ceiling, the big bar. You were correct. When we talked to Spencer, I wanted to let you know, because I told you I thought you were crazy and you were wrong. He did say this is what was on the books to be ordered. The flat face curve.
Yep. The center bar.
In the center bar, correct. Yeah. Now, it's not that I was totally nuts. What I was looking at was this is the diffuser that they drew in their model, which shows the slots on the side. Now, unfortunately, that then makes them blow into the wrong side of the cavity.
Yeah.
So what Spencer was able to tell me was I have the dimensions from here. Mike and I got them. We're going to end up with a 48-inch plenum. However, this face along the front can extend beyond to make this thing into a continuous curve. And I just need to give him some of this information right here. But he did show me that it was this one right here, 2.5-inch slot. Nope, I'm blind. Let me go the other direction. Right here. He said that they've ordered a 2.5-inch slot. This is the snap-in type. So we're going to be leaving 6 inches. So this is sort of where I'm going to be doing some training, and we're going to build this thing appropriately to the side wall. What did they end up calling it? To the slots facing inside curve concave. That's what we're going to build. This is the plenum, and this is actually the grill that goes on there. So he told me to make that 6 inches for a single slot 2.5-inch. Now, what that means, which I think that we have to at least show the architects and engineers, is that means that this thing is going to blow out of here like this, in this direction, right? It's not going to blow down.
Got you.
But the problem is they can't blow down because you've got no surface to blow down. That's why they were trying to push the diffuser all the way into the inside of this curve. I mean, you can't blow down on this face because you can see this curve fucked up detail they got.
Yep.
There's nowhere for your diffuser to go. So what we're going to do,
we don't have it?
and I had, they built us out a slot in the lower location. We're going to be basically putting those sidewall ones in. I want to get them in and uploaded so that in the next meeting, they can review those and make sure the engineers are good with them. I don't really like the design because it's going to mean that you're going to be blowing that air right out onto these lights.
What's up, bud?
Mm-hmm.
And not really blowing them down onto the surface that they need to go to. They're going to sort of be blowing all towards the center.
And the roof.
That could possibly cause a damn condensation issue too. Blowing on them lights like that.
Joe knows it.
Blowing on them. Well, but those lights might be LEDs.
I don't see one in the field. And there's not one.
Well, I mean, if it's a metal cove or whatever, if you're just blowing straight on a cold air right on a metal cove.
Remember, we ran into the cone.
Gotcha.
You know, I'm just,
Check.
you know, I don't know that it will, but I've seen that happen before when you put a grill like that in the air just facing right on a damn metal surface. It'll cause it to damn sweat
And then drip down into that cove and then create an ultimate nightmare.
Yep.
Richard.
Oh, boy.
But as long as the engineer signs off on it.
Well, I don't think any of us want to really provide a bad product.
No.
Now, the problem is, in order to get this slot to fit, we need to pick up this secondary grid. And I tried to sell you this the other day. It means that this purple duct,
All of them come up at this column back here.
from here to here, we would need to raise up about 5 inches. And I'm pretty sure, as we've discussed, that's already been installed.
Yes.
How painful is that going to be for you to do that?
As long as I've got the room if we got the room to raise it, I mean, we can be raised. We'll just have to.
All right. Well, I apologize. That's my only possible solution, but someone's going to have to make the call on what they're going to do with that diffuser.
Yeah. That's a damn mess.
And then the only other one is that move at the Starbucks. Like I said, I'm going to have him show me again where that actually is. Or I could go rewatch the video.
Well, now, if you're talking about just raising the secondary grid,
I'm talking about raising the secondary grid, but what you're going to see is you are slammed right there into the secondary grid. You're laying on the secondary grid.
Yeah. Well, and every other area, Brian, we've had it. We got plenty of issues of that out in the. I guess this area CC kind of registration flowing around into circulation.
Yeah.
And what they did was they literally just took the second grid and cut it out around and just run it up to our duct and run it right alongside of it. So it may not be an issue of us even raising that duct. They can just raise the secondary grid and run it up to that duct.
Oh, you know what's going to happen though is because the framing comes around.
Well, now where the framing is, that might be a different story.
Right. So I guess that would really mean that only, but I think you'd probably be better on just somehow raising this little duct run up.
You gotta find it.
But remember, this is all contingent upon them accepting a sidewall diffuser, which it sounds to me that you don't think that's a good idea.
So this center bar.
Yeah.
There's marketplace, so somewhere between.
I don't necessarily like it.
Somewhere right here,
I just, to me, it just seems like it's going to be an issue. But that's just me. But I don't know how else they're going to resolve it.
Let me see if I can find it.
Okay.
Yeah, just I guess we'll play it by ear for right now. Just if they decide to go on the sidewall, then we'll raise that duct.
All right, yeah, but like I said, we don't want to do anything until we get a buy-in because it's got to be bought off on by the engineer and the architect.
Yep.
Eric, does anyone remember any of the other interferences? Misty, you're on mute if you were saying something.
No, I know you had mentioned some areas. If you knew of any, I mean, if stuff is installed, I just don't want to do anything unless we all know what's going on and something's moving.
Well, did you catch, because you have the mechanical file open, Paul and Jason, I think we're good for now. If you wouldn't mind checking back after lunch to see if we have any additional questions, just jump right back on this link and you come back in.
Yes, I can do that. And while I got you on here, Brian,
tell me.
I wanted to ask about where we are with the grease duct for the kitchens.
Misty's ready to review those with you as well. We could actually do that right now, Misty, if you wanted. And then that would then transition us right into me covering what changes that Jason just approved that we can make in the model that he'd like to see updated at the high limit and at that front next to the vestibule where we talked about, Jason.
Yep.
Hey, Brian.
Yes.
On that yesterday, Jair was saying, and Dylan, and that duct just southeast of the event center.
Yeah.
Which duct of that he was saying was below the ceiling?
The one he was saying. Oh, yeah. Thank you very much for that. That is a good one while Jason's
It's
on.
impossible. So I had Shane go check them duct runs right there. And
He's saying that this one right here was installed too low.
I don't see how. They already have the bulkheads ran below it, don't they?
Where's this at?
Just south of the vent centers right here.
That's what we looked at yesterday.
South pre-function.
That's south pre-function.
Yeah.
South pre-function. That's correct.
That duct, there was a tap that come off of one of these lines. We've already
We
moved.
raised it up.
We've already fixed that issue.
So they wasted 30 minutes on that yesterday.
Yeah, that's already been taken care of.
What's the
Well,
other?
good. We're not going to waste any more time. And Cody, I do appreciate it. I think I'll start keeping you on the invitation for this as well, because this is the perfect opportunity. You just sent me an email requesting water and gas drawing. This is
Yeah,
the
your full
perfect opportunity.
plumbing,
Go ahead.
your full plumbing discipline set's printed as a field set as well.
What's the one we looked at last night? That they want us to read?
I don't know that I understand that.
Ramsey's kitchen.
Have him look at that one before we got him in here.
Well, I already have. He's done changing the models. It is in that bulkhead. We're gonna have to move it. They come out on that fucking Rev 12.2, whatever.
So that was the example you sent me for the hydronic. Oh,
No, this was the other one.
but your Rev 12 shop drawing set for the plumbing full discipline
Yep.
is printed as a field discipline. That was just the example for what I'm looking for, but water and gas.
For water and gas. So Misty, he needs a overall drawing like this set up. And if you look, it's MCL 112.
Okay.
So one of those digits will change, and it's going to be for water and gas. And then I just need you to change the filters. He wants an overall, probably to check off what's been completed and what hasn't been completed.
Correct.
Okay.
So if you could set me up another sheet just like MCL 112, obviously, like I said, it'll be the discipline number will change, I think, to a 3 or a 4, whatever it is. But set me up one for water and gas, and we'll print that and get that to you for the morning.
Perfect. Thank you, Brian.
Sure.
All right. Jason, Paul, you got any more that you want to? We're going to look at the grease.
Yeah.
Misty, did you share your screen?
I just don't know. Yeah, where it is. Let me show you my screen. Where it is that you guys are talking about. I just never grabbed that.
What they're looking for is they want to make sure that our model's up to date so that we can give it to Vortex so that they can fabricate the duct. Am I correct on that, Jason?
Yes, I want to get this released so they can start fabrication. Yes.
So everything I know is good except for what you and Mike talked about. If we need to add an elbow.
If you could just fly him through those, remember those sheets you set up?
Oh yeah, sure.
Showed you those areas just so he can lay eyes on them, so he can approve releasing them to fabrication.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, we just need to change some more stuff.
Okay. Here we go. Start with Ramsey's Kitchen. Do you guys want to see that one first?
Yep. And what he's looking for is that pair of pants that you got going on down there.
Yeah.
Looking.
Sure. So if I come right here, you want to go in 3D or section?
No, you have a section of it already down there, don't you?
Yep. Oh, do I? Cool. Perfect. Yep. Well, this one and this down here.
Is that what you're looking for in Ramsey's? No, go up to the upper one. Is that? I thought we were doing pair of pants type thing.
Which one was that one? That one maybe. Let me open that one. I mean, I can grab and find out what it's supposed to
do me a favor. Go beyond Ramsey's Kitchen. Go to the other ones. Don't start with Ramsey's Kitchen because that's Mike, and Mike's not here.
Sure, that sounds great. Perfect. Well, no, actually I was doing that, but I have to look at it and see. Okay. So here are those ones. We can just go to each section. So this one, pair of pants. We don't have a pair of pants in these ones, I don't think. I think let's do this one.
Do you want to show him the 3D views of each one of those things and see if he sees any problems?
I sure can. Is that what you want to do then? You're not looking for the pair of pants. Okay. So we'll go through each one. We'll start at the marketplace. We'll start at 315. Let's go through each one. That's the easiest way. My mouse is driving me crazy. Okay. This is that weird one that's at that weird angle. So here's that one. And let me just put them both side by side real quick so you know which one we're talking about. Okay, so this one right here is 1315.
Yep.
13015, and that's what that looks like. Right there.
That's marketplace.
That's
Yep.
marketplace. That's correct.
Is that the smoker hood? I think.
No, this one is 13015, which is back here in the back.
Okay. I'm good with that. Looks good to me.
That sounds great. Okay. Yeah, let me go ahead and go to this. Then we'll just go ahead and go to the Pizza Hut.
Does anyone know? I saw something that said the Pizza Hut might be going away. Did you ever hear anything?
First I heard of it.
Okay.
All right. So I guess we'll go this way here.
So that one's just a straight drop down into it.
She's on this.
Yeah.
Hey, have we got the measurements on these by chance? Can we put those up there? That way I can kind of match them up, make sure I got the same measurements as what you got there. I'm gonna grab my measurements real quick.
I actually got a good section of that one. I would just go to that one. Do you want a measurement?
I'm all screwed up here.
Please submit or whatever.
All right, I'm here, Brian.
All right. So you looking at some papers? Is what you're looking at?
Yeah, I'm looking at my drawings and my measurements here, so I can just match them up to what you got there.
You
If
looking
you
for
give me the measurements off of that and the hood numbers, so I can match them up.
All right. Give them the hood number.
Okay. Yeah, the hood number is, sorry about that. Hood number is 13-062, Pizza Hut.
All right.
Okay. So
That should be a 14-inch round.
Just pick on the duck, Misty. Just pick right on the duck.
yeah, here we go. There it is. Yep, 14-inch.
Yep.
All the way up to a reducer at the fan.
It looks like about 24 feet of duct.
That looks good to me.
All right.
Okay. All right. There's that one. So now we'll go ahead and come over here to hood 13053.
We got the 1 o'clock meeting.
13053. All right.
And this is what this one looks like.
That one should be an 18-inch round.
Correct.
That looks good to me.
Okay. And then we're going to go to 13040. Okay.
All right. That one should be a 16-inch round.
Go to view. Let's see. Yes. All right. So we're done with the marketplace. So now we're going to go to hood 7-041.
All right.
And this thing is a
Is a 20 inch
20?
rail.
20. Yep. Sorry.
No, I'm not mad. I'm not upset. I have so much shit going on.
Well, the last 3 times you've been here, I've said, hey, Lisa. I came in here, hey, Lisa. How you doing? Hey, Lisa.
Yeah, that one looks good to me.
Okay.
I had Jordan with me last time.
Yeah.
And so I was like,
Now we're going to go to 3-068.
Hey, Lisa, like 3 times.
I didn't hear you.
I guess you do.
Say 3068.
Yes.
Like,
Okay.
I can zone. Hey, I'm a mama. I can zone.
Well,
people
this is
out.
the one we have a pair of pants. Yep. Coming off
Hold
of.
on.
Should
Yeah.
be 2 16-inch rounds back to a 24-inch round going out.
I don't know why I can't move that. Hold on. Is it pinned? Ah, I'm sorry.
You're
All right,
fine.
we'll just go to it.
No, he stepped out.
I don't know what's going on.
I get what you working me too hard.
Just be patient. It's coming.
I'm
good.
never patient. Okay.
So you
This
got
one-
16s at the bottom and 24?
Yes.
Is that what you said, Jason? Two
Yeah.
16s
Yeah.
going into a 24.
That is correct.
Should be on a horizontal run.
Now notice that pair of pants had, is that at a 45? No, that's at the 120, isn't it?
Yeah, that's 30.
And you're gonna put those degree angles and all that on there for Vortex.
Yeah, it's in the model right now. That's
Oh.
how it's built.
Awesome.
All
Both
right.
16s. Yep. 16 to a
24. We
Yep.
confirmed that one. Go to your next one.
okay. So we have that one. Now we're going to the kitchen area.
The back of
And
house.
yep. So let's go to the we're going to go to hood 1-050.
Yep, that was a pair of pants. I think the right side should be a 22-inch round. Then the left side is an 18-inch round.
Correct.
And they both go back to a 22 by 22Y to a 28-inch round going out.
Correct.
So that looks good to me.
Okay. Oh, 1 second. Okay, I should just stay there in that one. Now we're going to 1-053. Just right beside it.
All right. That was just a 14-inch round going out.
Correct.
Okay.
That looks good to me.
All right, and then the last one is 1-085. I have not sloped this guy, and he fits.
Trying to find the drawing here. Bear with me.
You're fine.
085. Yeah. Shit. Yeah.
Cool. I wanted you to see that.
Hang on, I'm having some technical difficulties. Give me just a second.
Sure.
Wow, that was creative.
Hey, while he's looking for that, I just want to say for the team, things sure have got smoother around here since Misty started getting in on this.
Please.
All right.
All right, I'm back.
Alright.
That was a pair of pants with 2 16s going back to a 24-inch round going out.
Yeah, but look at what it has to do.
Yeah, I see that's the one we had the issue with the height on, right?
Yep. And Misty, if you can stretch so that we can see a little bit more of where that thing goes, because I think he turns again.
Yeah, and it comes this way here more. So let me just kind of lower that a little bit. Or...
Yep, perfect. That's what I want to see. Do you see how it's got to run past the end of that bar joist?
Yep.
If they have a bottom cord stiffener, which they don't typically draw in, can you go verify to whether or not that bottom cord is attached back to that? So that
Yeah, well, and here's what here's the reason why I kind of want to bring this up too, because I wanted to talk to you about that one we had issue with here. Can we lay that Y over on its side and kind of come straight off the front of that hood? Or is there something obstructing us from doing that?
No, I don't think there would be, Misty.
That way we can get out of that bar joist.
Yeah, you understand what he's saying? In other
Tilt
words,
it
lay
this
that
way?
lay that Y. No, lay that Y on the horizontal piece.
Okay. You can on the horizontal. You mean just rotate it like?
No, just watch.
Yeah.
Keep going up line. Keep going. The one that's running. Nope, not that one. No, the one that you haven't picked. The one across the top of the page.
This one?
Nope, zoom up. That one. Pick that. Grab its end point where it goes into the elbow. Not that end point, but the other end point. Grab the little dot.
Okay.
Back it up.
Okay.
What he wants to do is he wants to put the Y in there.
Oh.
Yeah. And you can back it up. You can back it up some more. Yep, you got it. That's what he wants to do. Now you would lower that. You would lower that below the bar joist.
No, Brian. That's actually not what I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
What I'm thinking is, where the Y, leaving the Y in the same location it is, but just rotating it down, pointing out. I guess not quite a 90-degree angle, but say shooting out at a probably a little more than a 45-degree angle out straight across the front of the hood.
Kind of like a hold on, I think I know what you mean, like a
In other words, just rotating it down toward us as we're looking at it right now.
Yeah. So if you go right here and you go at this side of it, you're talking about taking this thing here, rotating it that way.
I don't think that's gonna work.
That's what I was trying to see. Could we do that or not, or is there something in
the way? Then I think it gets into that bottom cord because that height of that, unless we change that to something other than that 120-degree, Misty.
Yeah, we could do that. I mean, is that what you mean?
You don't need a 30-degree slope on there. You only have to have a minimum slope to get rid of that, to slope the grease back.
Yeah. It's only a 1/4 inch per foot slope that I got to have.
So so you're thinking a different.
You want a shallower curve, a shallower.
So, let's do 90.
No,
shallower.
We want to go the other direction.
20. 120 plus 30 is 150. You want to add 30 degrees to it or 10?
Yeah, let's just see what it looks like.
Okay, so right now it's 120. We'll add 130, 10 degrees.
Yep, and you just need to keep going so that when you put the elbow on it, you're below that bar joist.
That sounds great, and they can just make that custom to whatever I need it to be.
And that's where I'm saying, Jason, if you jump back after you eat lunch, then we can show you that one. She can work on that while Ginger and I are reviewing building that curved diffuser.
Yep.
That makes sense?
Yep. We can jump back to that one after lunch. I'll be fine. Yep.
But everything else you were comfortable with, except for the Ramsey's kitchen, which If you want to go to the Ramsey's Kitchen, I thought Mike was going to be jumping on here. I don't know. He must have got Kevin must be eating his ass up.
Well, I mean, if you want to wait till after lunch, and that way Mike can get on with us. If you know, if that
All right, that sounds good because it is lunchtime. So go eat your lunch, and when you get back, try to jump on again so that we can review the Ramsey's Kitchen and what she does with this one.
Yep, sounds good.
All right. All right. So
Thank you.
enjoy your lunch.
Yeah.
Ginger, are you there?
I don't think Ginger's on.
She's look over there, William, bro. He's calling for her.
She's not in the office.
Good, Tyler. Then you're on. Oh shit! You don't have Revit loaded on a computer.
Yeah, I don't even have a computer here. I got an iPad.
Paul and Jason, I'm good with you guys till you jump back on. So, and feel free to jump off and then jump back on. Okay.
Okay, Poppy.
All right. We'll talk to you after lunch.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. So if Ginger's not there, and see that's the thing. So it's just our group now on here.
Okay.
This is the thing where I need to get Ginger and Tyler straight with is I understand you can't be on the session the whole time, but you have to give me either a private chat or a comment to tell me that you're going to walk away from your desk so I don't see you in the room, but you're not actually there. Does that make sense, Tyler?
Absolutely. Otherwise, you're just burning breath.
Yeah, well, and you are my field contact right now, but you're saying Ginger's not at her desk. She's probably at lunch or something.
She's walking to her desk now.
Oh, she is walking to her desk now. Good.
Yeah.
Were you able to catch her or something?
No, she was in for some of the session. I just don't know when or where she went. I'm just not sure.
Ginger, are you there?
I'm sorry. I had to pee.
No, don't be sorry. Ain't no big deal. That's the whole thing is this thing's supposed to be a little bit flexible. But what I need you to do is I need you to start Revit up and I need you to share your screen, your Revit screen with me.
Okay.
We'll take Misty off since she doesn't want to be watched probably.
Thank you.
Where is it?
Just take your time because remember that we're just developing this process.
The 2020, correct?
2020. And then, like I said, if you go down to the bottom bar and hit the present and present your screen, then I'll be able to see what your screen's doing. And then what I want to do is I want to build this family with you. This is sort of to kill time, plus to start you on the training. I talked with Tyler last night. I get it. You don't know where to start. This is where we're going to start.
Okay, they took my Revit, I guess.
What do you mean? What's it say?
Let's get you signed up on the latest version. Get free trial or buy now.
Let me go see if I can crack it.
This is where if you're sharing your screen, I can see what you're clicking on and I can advise you where the problem may be. So share the screen where those error messages are coming up and let's see what it's doing.
Tyler over here.
Don't get frustrated. There's no reason.
Okay.
Even though I'm frustrated with Mike, that little bastard.
Yeah, but is the project going to be there?
You should still have the files.
You're not going to need a project. You're not going to need any of that. All you're going to need is to be able to create a new family, and we're going to create that family together. But you're actually going to click to do it, so you're not watching me again because you've watched me enough times.
So you can see what you're doing.
And if you're feeling flustered, just let me know, and I'll lay off a little bit. There's your screen. Perfect. So you're going to go to families and you're going to hit the new button. There you go. And did a little window open up and it's asking you what kind of family template you want to start from. I can't see that because what you did when you did the present, I think you did a share window instead of a share screen.
Oh.
Okay. That's why we got to do this. We've got to iron out these wrinkles so that we can get this workflow going.
Top right, it'll say entire screen. Yeah. And then screen.
There you go. See, now I can tell you, go down to generic model. And this is going to be the last generic model on the list. And that's typically where we start with building most 80, 90% of the families. So you can say open. Okay, and if you look at the top of our window right now, it says left, view one, front, reference level. It's actually got 4 views open, but they're on tabs. But if we type in the WT, which stands for window tile, you're going to see it turns into 4 little views. WT. Perfect. Okay. So what you'll see is in the reference level, the top left one, click into that space and zoom out a little bit, and we'll end up seeing some green on there. Okay, so this family starts you out with 2 reference planes, and your insertion point is where those 2 green planes hit each other. If you picked on one of those green planes, it's either going to say center front back or center left right. Try that. Click on one of those green lines.
Yeah. Oh, is my audio missing?
You see how it says center front back, and then the other one says center left right. So if you click on that other one, you would see it says center left right. Okay? So the idea is those are the planes that we can draw in. So now, can you still see my screen if I share it with you? Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we first had to try to figure out which one of these guys we needed to build. And the one we're going to build is this one right here. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to build this ordered length and this ordered height. Well, actually, the height comes from another location. But so I'm going to share back to your screen. So in our reference level, in that top view, we need to build that object. Okay?
Okay.
So click once in white space so you're no longer on that grid. If you go to the top that says create, at the top pull downs, there's a create, and we want to do an extrusion. Forgive me, but I got to check my phone there. Okay, he just told me he was going to hop off. All right. So when we go to that create extrusion, it goes into what's called the sketch mode. This is going to be something that you're going to do a lot in Revit. You're going to do it in order to draw ceilings. You're going to do it for a wide array of things. But the idea is when you're in sketch mode, if you were to click and draw right now, you would be drawing these purple or pink lines. So try drawing, click once, and you're going to see there's going to rubber band mode into drawing a pink line. Move your cursor. Move it. See how it's that pink line?
Yeah.
So when you're doing that and you're drawing and your stuff's coming out pink, it's because you're in sketch mode. If we look at the top of the screen, there is a red X and a green checkbox. You are in sketch mode until you hit either that X or that green. Now, right next to the red X and the green check box are all the different shapes that we can draw. So if I wanted to draw a circle, you could go up to the top and you would go into that circle, pick one of the circles up at the top. You see where I'm talking about? Yep, right up there. See, so if you wanted to draw something that was round, you would pick that, correct? Click on it.
Sorry, somebody was talking.
No, that's all right.
So click on the circle.
Yep. And you see, now when you do that, click a point and draw, you would be drawing a circle. So the idea is we can create any shape we want. I'm going to share my screen back for a second, and you're going to see what we're trying to draw is this shape right here, because this is a top view of what we're trying to draw. So we need to draw a 48-inch, and then I'll give you this dimension in a second. Got to go back to your screen. So if you were to go into the draw line, go back to the draw line where I showed you draw a circle, and you were to pick and head in a direction, and there you go. Notice how there's a blue dimension at the top.
Mm-hmm.
So if we know we want this to be 4 feet long, see if you can go to where it says 4 feet. And you're going to find that you can't quite get, no, there it is. Perfect. Click. And now draw down. Now let me get that number for you. I believe it was 13 inches, but I want to see it. That was here. Yes, okay. So I want you to come down. Now, that last time you drew this, you were just going by where it was snapping to. Now, if you move a little bit closer, do you notice that it's snapping every 6 inches? So, do you see how it's going? In other words, you see how it's going from 11.6 to 12?
Yeah.
If you zoom in closer, roll your wheel. Now try that same thing. You see how it's going to every 1 inch?
Yeah.
Now, more importantly, if you just started typing, type a number 1. Notice how it's going to allow you to type in that distance you want. And you want this to be 13 with the inch mark, the double quote. And you hit enter. And you see that actually drew that thing. If you zoomed out, you would see that drew it 13 inches long.
Oh, I didn't click yet.
No. It when you hit enter, it clicked it. So now go to the left. Horizontal. Go back to where the other end line was. Did you see that for a second? Zoom in closer to it. What you're going to see is it's going to pick up that point. Well, go up just a little bit. There you go. Keep going. Keep going.
You going up or out?
No, we want it to pick up the point that's above, which is at 4 foot. That's where you would click. No, come back down there. There you go. That's what I was looking for you to find. That's all about where you move your mouse. See, that's why you can't put this in writing to tell someone. This is like a video game. You've got to feel the things that Revit does. And what it's doing right there with those little green lines is it's saying, I'm lining this up with this other point that I found. And that's all about where your cursor is. Okay? So if you clicked, and then you drew the closing point. All right. So we're in, and draw that line. So we're in what's called this sketch mode. Well, what happens is with an extrusion, when you've made a sketch that is a circle, is a loop, and is closed, you can now hit the green check box. If you would have tried to hit the green check box any other time, it would have said the shape is not closed. I can't do that. But since you've closed it, I want you to hit the green check box. And what you're going to see in 3D, it just actually made that box.
Oh.
Okay, so over in the 3D view, I want to show you a little bit about view controls. These are the little buttons that are in the bottom of the window, and they start out with the 1/2 inch, the second button over after the checkerboard. Keep coming, that one. I want you to turn that to shaded view. Click on that and go to shaded. Now, if you clicked on the screen somewhere, you would see this, click in white space. I'm going to need to tell you to click in white. See, now you can actually see the effect of turning on shaded mode, and you can see the beginnings of this diffuser. Now, this diffuser is only 6 inches tall. So if you picked on that box you drew, yep, edges, pick edges. All right. Over on the left-hand side, we have two important windows. One's called our properties and one's called our browser. In the properties, do you see that the very top slot, it says extrusion end 1 foot. Move your cursor over to the left side of your view. There you go. We know that this is 6 inches. So if you put 6 inches in there,
It'd be 6 inches, not 6 foot.
no, well, you deleted it.
Oh, I deleted it.
Do an undo.
Undo.
All right. Pick on the box again. Now pick over there. Now, this is the very confusing. See, this is why it's so important that you drive in order to learn. If you start highlighting an area where you're going to fill in, like you're trying to do, you go ahead and highlight that 1 foot and the 0, and you're leaving the inch mark. I get it. Can you highlight it?
Yeah.
All right. See, you did what everyone does.
What
This
did
is
I
so
do?
frustrating. Listen to me.
Do I undo
If,
again?
no, you're fine. If you highlight that and you move your cursor off, that takes effect. So be real careful once you've highlighted it that the pointer stays right there. Now don't move your mouse. Now type 6. Now move your mouse. Don't hit enter. Don't do anything. Move your mouse over to the screen, and you'll see that that's when it applies it. You need to be very careful when you're filling those in that your mouse can't move. Okay? It's a frustration that everyone runs into. How do you explain to someone how that's reacting unless we're doing what we're doing right now? Okay?
Gotcha.
So right now, you've basically built what is most of the plenum minus the curve at the front we haven't done. However, there's one thing I really don't like. I don't like where you drew that box. Okay? So, since you're on the object, on the solid, at the top, there's a spot that says Edit Extrusion. Do you see it?
Mhm.
There you go. That's it. That will take you back into sketch mode. So hit that. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do a loop around everything. There's 2 different kinds of loops. We're going to click in an empty spot, and then we're going to drag. And if you do this to the left and up, it's going to be a crossing box. So go ahead and click and drag. Click and hold your button down and drag.
Click anywhere?
Yep, anywhere there. Do you see how when you go that direction, it's a solid line, go the other direction, and you'll see it's a dotting line. So that means that anything, when it's dotted, it's a crossing box. Anything that you cross, it's going to select. So go over to the purple a little bit, or to the pink. Go. Do you notice how it's picking those two objects because it's crossing them?
Yeah.
So in this case, what I'd rather you do is pick in the white space to the left and above and do a window around that that pink stuff so you can select all 4 of those objects. So
Left.
click, nope.
Off.
Release that. Now go over to the other side and to the top. Now, if you click there and did a loop around, nope. Yeah, there you go. Right in there, anywhere in there. Click and drag. You would see, there you go. You picked all of those objects. Now, when you release, they're all going to be blue. So go ahead and release. And now we could move that stuff. Do you see where the move command is? Look at your top toolbar. These are called contextual. Yep, there's the move. Nope, you had it right there. That's the move.
So it won't move if you just get that right there?
You can drag it, but it's not going to give you a good snap point. Where I want you to move, and then I want you to go to the middle of that top line. Watch. Bam! You see that triangle?
Mm-hmm.
That's telling you you're grabbing the midpoint of that line. Pick and go straight over to the right till you hit the green line. Boom. Now that's centered on that. There you go. And click. And now it's centered. Okay? Now, that's by doing the move method. The move method was only added because people came from CAD and they liked the move command. If you're driving Revit more the way Revit likes to be drawn, you've got all your lines selected. What I want you to do is click on the top line. Don't release your button. You're going to click and you're going to drag it down until it hits the green line below. Just click and drag. Click and hold and drag. There you go. Do you see how that did that? So I didn't have to go to move. I can actually move this by picking a smart object. And if you release that, we now have that box centered on that insertion point. And now we would hit our green OK. Yep, that one right there. So now it's being drawn in the right spot. Okay? Now, if I'm going to throw my screen back up for a second. And what we're looking at is this guy, right? No. Bear with me. Lost again. Always lost. This is what we're trying to build. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to build this circle. Okay? We don't know exactly where it is because this is a typical submittal. They don't give you all the information. Another guy's submittal might actually give you the distance from here to the center line of that curve. But what we do know is this is a 10-inch circle. So I'm going to throw your screen back. So I'm trying to get you to draw that 10-inch circle now. So you're going to go to create. You're going to do an extrusion. You're going to sketch a circle. See, you're learning. You're learning. Excellent. Pick.
Pick inside.
Yeah, that's where it wants to be. That's about where it wants to be. Correct. Go to the left or right and now type in 5 inches.
Left or right?
It doesn't matter because it's going to be on the radius. You could go in any direction you wanted with the circle. And you actually see you've got the 5 inches.
So I can just click.
Yep. You got it. Okay. Now hit escape to get out of the drawing circles. And then one more escape will get you out of the drawing. Okay. See, the first one stops that circle. The next one stops the command. Now, if you pick that circle, okay, we're going to teach you another thing about Revit, and that's the nudge. Okay. If you hit your down arrow right now on your keyboard, watch what happens. See that nudging down in there?
Sweet.
So here's the neat thing about that. Do you remember when we were drawing before and I showed you that it's drawing to every 6 inches?
Mhm.
But then when you zoomed in, then it was drawing to every 1 inch?
Yes.
The nudge is exactly like that. So if you're zoomed real far out, every time you hit nudge, it's going to move 6 inches. If you're zoomed in a little bit, it's going to move it 1 inch. If you're zoomed in more, it's going to move it a 1/4 inch. So it's all about how zoomed in you are as to how much that nudge or that drawing dimension, that temporary dimension's accuracy is. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So if you were to go ahead and hit the green checkbox right now, oh, there you go. You would see we've now put this little adapter on there. We've drawn this little, that's where the flex duct connection goes into that thing.
Uh,
All right, so now if you click in your front view, notice how there's these little caret symbols on there. You see the bottom caret symbol?
mhm.
Stretch that up to the top plate.
This one.
Stretch it up. And watch how, as you go up, it's snapping. You see how it's snapping to that?
Mhm.
And that's where I want you to go to. Right there where you are. Perfect. And what that did, if you look in your properties, can you go to your properties box? That's on the left screen. There you go. Up, up. There you go. Do you see how it says extrusion start is at 6? Make
Yeah.
the extrusion end be at 8. And what that would mean is this is a 2-inch collar on top. So do you see where it says extrusion end 1 foot? Make that say 8 inches. We're sort of practicing your drawing skills. And you did great. You're not moving the cursor off of that. You did that. See, you're learning. And now you just move it over. Now we've got that thing in its right place. Okay.
Usually. Ugh. Well, that works.
So in the 3D view, why don't you zoom into that thing? So in order for this to come into our project correctly, remember we started with a generic model?
Yes.
Well, we don't want all of our objects to be generic models. We want them to be what they are. Are they a piece of mechanical equipment? Are they an air terminal? What are they? To do that, up in the very top left-hand corner, there's one little button that has 4 blue squares, and then there's one little button that has a yellow folder.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Hit that one with the yellow folder. See what it says in the top section? It says, what category is this? So we start with generic model, but if we're doing our job correctly, we know what to make this guy. Now, in the beginning, there's a lot of architects and engineers that might be making a diffuser a piece of mechanical equipment because in their brain, it seems like a piece of mechanical equipment. But if you do any work at all, you're going to find that it's not a piece of mechanical equipment if you scroll to the top of your list. So you listen, there you go. It's an air terminal is what it's called.
Oh.
Okay. So if you just click on the word air terminal, that's going to make this guy into an air terminal. Now, there are a few settings below. We'll end up going into those more later. A lot of people don't know about those, but what happens is those things at the bottom change depending on whether it's an air terminal or if you picked let's just pick duct accessories for 1 second and watch the bottom part of the screen. Do you see how this one changes? It's got a part type, and it's got a couple different things that the air terminal didn't. So it's really hard in the beginning because you have to learn what every one of those family categories are. Not necessarily everyone, because you're going to be typically more mechanically based than anything else, but you're going to need to know what the mechanical equipments are. So the first thing we're going to need to know is a diffuser is an air terminal. So if you'll set that back to air terminal and say, okay. All right, so this object, this family that we're creating, the big trick of this guy is he needs to be able to connect to either pipes or ducts or electrical. So what we need to do is add a connector to him. So this is generally I do in that 3D view. I'd click once in white space in the 3D view. All right. And then I'd go up to the create pull down menu. Perfect. And then I would look right in the middle of that ribbon. You're going to see there's electrical connector, duct connector, pipe connector. And we want a duct connector. All right. And now what you do is this duct connector has to be attached to a 3D object. That's why we drew that round 3D object. So if you pick that top face where the flex duct would connect, you're good right there. That's good. There you go. There you go. You hit the edge. Be thinking of edges. There you go. All right. So what that did was that put a square duct connector in. Go ahead and hit escape 2 times. Now pick that square duct connector.
Did it escape?
Nope. On the screen, pick the green little thing that it drew. There you go. Click on it. You got to select it. Now go over and look at your properties.
Shape rectangle.
There you go. What are we going to change that to?
Circle. Yeah.
Right. And you see the diameter?
Mm-hmm.
That would end up going to the 10-inch duct. So we want that to be 10. See, my problem is when I show you me doing this on a video, you don't catch the fact that I know I can't move my cursor off. So then you try to do what I'm doing and it just falls apart and you get nothing but frustrated.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
This is why I believe the best way to train people is to do this, because now I'm having to tell you everything you have to do, and you're making all the mistakes I used to make, which is what any rookie's going to do. So honestly, Tyler should be able to go back and watch this and be able to repeat the same kind of steps, because I really had to hold your hand through it.
Yeah.
Okay. So now when we put these connectors in, and in the beginning, it was really frustrating to me because I wasn't a mechanical specialist, so I didn't understand this. But it's very important what kind of connector that is. So can you see the system classification in the properties box? So that there you go. See, so it automatically came in as supply air, but we need to know, is this an exhaust grill? Is this a supply grill? Or is this a return grill? And we just so happen to get lucky, and that default is a supply, and this is indeed a supply. So we are correct, but I wanted you to know where that is.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
And the rest of the data that's in there, you could actually read from the submittal what that information is. Now, that's typically only necessary when you're working for engineers, because what happens is, and most people don't know this, is we would put all these diffusers in, and then we would tell Revit, hey, why don't you calculate what my path is going to be? We don't get that luxury. The engineers have typically drawn that to the path that we have to follow. So that all of the calculation and the flow, doesn't really affect people who are doing BIM coordination to the extent where we're going. But we'll talk about that in further videos. I just wanted you to be aware of it. Now, one of the frustrations that I have is, can you scroll or roll your wheel down right now? You got to understand. Now, there was only one extra slot there, but there's going to be a lot of objects that, because you're working on a small screen, you got to remember to look at the stuff in the properties below that's off that screen. Okay. Not necessarily in this case, because this is a family, but when you're in the project, you're going to be like, Brian, I don't know where to set the phase. And it's going to be because you didn't scroll over the properties, which is why I advise most people to get a 42-inch TV to be able to work on when they're at home. Do you have that situation? Did you ever do that?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, good. How does your Sunday look?
Wide open.
Do you think we could? I don't know if Tyler talked to you at all, but I was basically proposing to him that we do an hour or an hour and a half a night for 4 nights during the week, and then we do a 4-hour session on Sunday. Do you think that's something you could fit in to your schedule, that 4-hour session on Sunday?
Probably, yes.
At least for the month of July. I'm not talking about for eternity. I'm only talking about till you get your sea legs and start drawing a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. So all we really need to do is going to be the hardest last section. Let me share my screen with you. And that's going to be building this little grill that's out here at the front and putting this curve on there. Okay. So
Highlighting something? Or are you just
I see. I'm on the wrong screen. Thank you for telling me that. This curve out here, this little fat grill, this little face grill, which is actually, how does that work? It's this little snap-in guy right here. Okay. That's what they said that we're building. That's all we need to really draw on your object, and to put, by all means, and we got to put this curve on the front. Okay. Let me, you're going to have to bear with me. What do I have open? I have this open. Here. Just give me a second. My computer's working. I'm trying to find this radius so that we know that, and then we're going to do some geometry to try to draw this guy. Yep, that's it. So we need 2 of these guys. One of them, architecture. Let's see if we go and say, give me a radial dimension. Where did it draw at? Yep, down here. 39 feet, 11 1/8 of an inch. That's going to be the first one that we're going to build. 39 feet, 11 1/8. So what I want you to do is I want you to go into create and extrusion. You can hit cancel there. It's just asking you to save because you haven't saved in a while. All right. Now I want you to go into a circle.
Like,
nope. Drawing. You're in the sketch mode. You're in the purple sketch mode. Go up to the top and do a circle.
just
Up to
anywhere?
the top. There you go. That's what I'm looking for. Click in that view. You're in the 3D view. you need to make the plan view active. You see how it's trying to draw over there?
Yes.
So right now, click one time. Now you're drawing in that view. Go over to that damn green line, the vertical green line. Perfect. Pick. And now type in, go move a little bit of a distance and type in 39 feet 11. And just so you know how you're doing that? Wait. If you just do 39 space 11, it knows to make it 39 foot 11. You don't need the inch and the feet mark. Just letting you know. And hit enter.
So if I just hit enter now, it'll do it.
It'll do it. Mm-hmm. And if you zoom way out, there you go.
Oh.
Okay. Escape twice to get out of that command. Pick your circle. And now go to the move. And if you go to the top of the circle, you're going to see it's going to snap to a thing called a quadrant. There. See how it says quadrant? If you hover long enough, drag that. Now you can zoom into your little box.
A little box.
Yep. Zoom in. Put that right at the front.
What do you
Keep
mean?
coming down. Nope. Down. Keep coming. One more, the straight line. Boom. That's it. And that's where that curve is actually going to be. Okay.
Okay.
Now, we might remember we can't draw just, granted, a circle is closed, but what we want to do is we want to draw this thing being maybe a 1/4 inch wide, that face of the grill. So what I'd like you to do is right above the move command, there's an offset command. Next one over. That's the one. Take on that. Nope, right below the command, here's some information. Now come down a little bit. Let's put a 1/4 inch in there.
1/4 inch. I do this the same way or?
Yep, same way. You can highlight that stuff and you can say, you know what, make it a 1/2 inch. Just so we can see this.
And I have to do that like 0.5.
You could do 0.5 or you could do 1/2. Either one, it'll accept both of them. Okay. Now you'll notice that if you go down over your pink object, notice if we're on the upper side, it's going to offset up. And if you come down a little bit, it's going to offset down. So it all depends which side you're on when you select the object. And if you do it, perfect.
I want it down, right?
Yep. To be honest with you, it doesn't really matter. I just want you to know that you can select which side you want to offset it to. Okay. Go ahead and pick. And now you got your 2 pink lines. Okay. Now hit escape. Remember, we want to keep that left hand over the escape, the tab, the shift, and the control. We're going to be using those buttons a lot. You'll catch on more when we start drawing our actual building. Remember, this is a little bit different because this is the family editor. This is not the actual project. But I told you have to be able to build families if you're ever going to be a good Revit user.
No.
And what I want you to do is I want you to hit the green check mark just so you can see what this is going to create. Now go over in your 3D view and click once in white space, and you see what it made. Click in your white space so it made this ring because there's 2 circles. If we put a circle inside of a circle, the second circle becomes a hole. This is called an island detection mode. It comes from years back. But the idea is because you have 2 circles, the first circle creates like we did for the duct connector. The second circle then made a hole in that. And if we put another circle in there, it would be solid. And if we put another circle in that, it would be hollow. Just trying to get you to feel an idea.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but see, your word ain't shit. He's looking at literature.
I did it at 14 stores.
What we need to do now is let's go back into that sketch mode. So if you remember last time I showed you, you select on that box or you select on that ring you made, and then you said edit.
Select on the circle.
How many places?
No, the big circle, guys.
The big circle.
Yeah.
In the reference level.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You could do it in any one. And remember, see, right now you're just hovering. You're not selecting it. It's not until you actually pick. Pick. Now, you see how it says edit extrusion at the top?
Yeah.
At the top of the screen, remember the edit extrusion?
Mm-hmm.
Hit that.
Let him read the whole thing.
The edit extrusion.
I've done that.
That's it.
I can make it do it. Like
Right.
I'll send it in saying this. Like
Now,
VAV has no.
just for giggles right now, I want that lip to extend 2 inches beyond
Get an attachment for this.
the plenum. So if you zoomed into the corner of the square of the rectangle, yep, zoom in right there and draw me a little line going vertical.
Like from here.
An air filter.
That's what he said.
Yep. So you have to go into the draw line command.
Put frame in
To
the filter.
create
Nope.
just a line.
That's the one. That's the one. And go about 2 inches to the left. I know it's not going to give you an actual dimension. We'll find that down. Right about there is perfect.
Really?
Take it.
And draw down to the other purple, the other pink line. Go down. There you go. And snap.
The DPF. That shows
Do I need to click?
You need to click. Yep, absolutely. Once you get that pick sequence down, you'll be good. Now, if we want to keep this symmetrical, what we would do now is we would hit escape 2 times.
The mechanic I had here.
Oh.
Now I want to practice your window skill. Do a window around that so you select that little pink line. You remember the window is picking in white space and going into one direction. See, if you go that way, it's going to be a crossing window. Go to the left side of the line. Over. Nope.
Pick it or
There you go. There you go. Pick right there and do a window around that. Pick and drag.
a window?
Pick
Window.
with your click point.
Oh, I gotta click on the.
No, in white space.
Okay.
Pick and move your cursor. Remember, we do that window around that object.
So I want to go
Up and over, yep.
and capture that line.
Then capture that line
What are you trying to do?
and let go.
Hey.
That selects that line. Zoom out just a little bit so we can see our green lines. There you go. Do you see the mirror command? It's right next to the offset command. And we're looking at the first mirror command. It's up top.
And then you just highlight.
Not that one, that one. Pick that one.
Take a picture of it.
And now pick your green vertical line that
Oh,
reference
well,
point.
well.
Over to the other side. Over to the other side. Come over to the right. Right. Nope, not that one. There you go. You were there. You had it back. Come back to the view.
This one.
Yep. Now come down a little bit. That's the line. Pick that. And now you'll see you got a little line on both sides. Zoom out a little bit.
I got chicken. I got tater salad. I got.
I want some chicken and potato salad.
Roman salad.
I know. I'm
All
missing lunch, but I'm all for learning this.
All right. So now all we got to do is trim that thing up. But in order to trim it, and see, I'm trying to get you through these modify commands because you'll use these over and over again. So we did that. We did the move. We did the offset. We did the mirror. Right next to the 2 mirror commands, there's I believe it's called split. That one right there, split element. And what I need you to do is I need you to split that circle. The two circles. So pick one of the outer. Nope. There you go. I want to get rid of the outside information. Go ahead, pick there, and then go to the left.
Well, he married.
And pick again.
Okay. Yeah, he's got a.
There you go. Pick. All right. What happened? Hit escape 2 times. Hover over that circle again. Did you see it? Nope. The upper circle. There you go.
Oh.
Delete that little piece. Delete that guy.
How do you delete that guy?
Pick on him. Now you can either hit the other. It's sort of funny. There's actually 2 red X's on your screen right now if you look at the top. A big one and a little one. The little one is the delete command, but a better delete command is the button on your computer, on your keyboard. If you hit the delete on your keyboard, it'll delete that sucker.
If I can find that sucker.
There you go. So see if you can do the rest of those splits so that we can then trim this up. You should have to split 3 more times.
So what am I splitting? Just this same circle?
Yeah, same circle on that side, and then on the other side, I need you to do the same split over there.
Encompass that line like we did this one?
We're just trying to split a piece out so that when we do our trim.
So I want to go left.
It doesn't matter which direction. Your first click is the start split, and your second is the stop split. Okay, now if you hit escape 2 times, picked on it, you could delete him. I do the same thing for the inner circle too.
Both places?
Yep, both places.
Yeah, we got like, in the big one, we probably got like 13 bags left or something in the big one.
Oh, that's doing the same time. Okay.
Oh, I like your keyboard.
Okay. I gotta do it.
We get to spy on the people talking to you. See, you're getting the flow of it, all right? Now, zoom in to where one of those ends are. So right directly below the split button, 2 buttons down, is the one next to that. Go over to the other direction. That one. The trim extend corner. So if you now pick that command, you're going to see that if you pick the arc and then the short line, short line, it's going to trim those 2 together. Okay.
So am I still in that mode, or do I have to click it again?
Nope, you're still in that mode. Keep on going. You're catching on. See, and that's where you got to do some drawing. Then you end up feeling it. Yeah, I like that method. That's what we generally do because of that. Hey, your pan. Do you know how to pan on your view? You click with your roller wheel, hold your roller wheel down, and you can slide. Okay.
Much easier.
All right. So see if you can extend those guys.
Put the line first.
Yep. All right. So now if you hit your green X, you might almost think you would be done, but we still have some scraps. So hit your green check box at the top, and it's going to give us a warning. You see the little warning thing that popped up? That's going to happen a lot. And this is where I told you that the things have to be in closed loops. That's because we got those 2 big circles left over. So hit continue. And let's delete those 2 big circles. If you zoom down in your top view, You're still in the trim command. To get out of that, we hit escape 2 times.
They got him in there, and he went in. He's right. He's still.
There's Mike. Just bear with me, Mike. We're drawing a little bit. All right. So now pick your outer circles. Now, that would be a good way to delete them one at a time, but I want you to practice your window command. So click in white space.
And then he went and got
Click and drag.
that too. Oh, he showed me there.
Anywhere. You see how it's dotted? It's going to select anything it is inside of it or crosses it. So if you release right now, hit your delete on your keyboard. Double click once on your roller wheel. So your roller wheel, double click with it. And what that did was that fit it to the screen at a zoom's extent. I see one little piece of pink line that's still left that's floating. Yep, get him out of there and hit delete. And now if we hit our green check box, we're very close to our diffuser. Once it, you got to click once in white space to sort of see it. In white space. Click again in white space. See? Now try to do your orbit. Do you know how to orbit, how to rotate your view?
Not with just the mouse, no.
Okay, no, you can't do it with just the mouse. You got to do it with the shift and the mouse. So you hold your shift key and pretend you're panning. Pretend you're panning where you hold your wheel down. See how we can start to orbit that around?
Yeah. Nice.
So all we need to do is get the top of that little plate that we put on there to line up with the top. I'm going to show you an interesting way to do that. Remember, you could do this in the front view or you could do it in the left view. So go to the front view. Can you see the object we're talking about? The biggest object you got drawn?
Walter.
Yep, that one.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid to click on it. Take your carrot at the top.
Like I normally do.
Take my one at the top.
The carrot, the little arrow, the little blue arrow, it might help you to zoom in. No, I'm wanting you to stay in that front view. There you go. That carrot, drag it down. Come on down. Not to that, but to the next one. And there you go. That's essentially what that diffuser looks like.
You know, if we give a award on it, John got to be the most color
So
coordinated.
guess what you just did?
It don't matter. When he comes
If you do this last step, you've actually built a family. So the last step is go up to the file, pull down.
I got this, and I got
Save as
I got my green hat today. I said that up.
family.
He ain't seen me with the hat yet. Hey, you remember.
Okay, now you're going to want to put this somewhere other than your document, somewhere that you've got control. Because once you've done this, you're going to send it to me in email, and you're going to have actually contributed to the project. There you go, to BIM. Perfect. I love it. Right? Go to low rise.
Yeah.
And let's go ahead and name this. Give me 1 second. I'm going to look it up. 1 second.
See the fast thing about it?
We want this to be called
While you waiting on
D15. So this is going to be D-15 OU.
we made cancel one time.
Or outside.
Put them right together and say, here's
And save.
Yep. And then you'll email that to me. And then I'm going to show you how I actually place this guy in. And then
on the inside.
realize that we make our families better. We sort of improve them as we need to. But you just made an air terminal diffuser. So once you email that to me, feel free to take your lunch.
Okay.
Okay?
Alrighty.
And don't be afraid to come back and watch what I do to this, because that's what I'm going to do next. Is I'm actually going to use that so that we can get it into our model. So by all means, do you know how to get back to this video once?
Oh no.
Not unless I just leave it open.
Shit. You didn't have to make a run to Joe Ingles, did you?
So if you want to come back after lunch and you want to join back into the meeting, all you do is go back to that same email and jump onto it.
Okay.
Okay. So you feel free to leave the studio so that you can join back in. And then one of the things I'm going to show you is how to later tonight go back and watch the piece that you missed while you went to lunch.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
You have a good lunch. Congratulations. You drew your first family.
Sweet. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
You go, girl.
Mikey, you're up, buddy. Let's show me a screen.
I know what it is.
So I can stop sharing screen, right?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna actually take it over. You're not gonna be sharing screen anymore, but my recommendation is leave the studio, or more importantly, if you're gonna stay in the studio, this is where you would go over to private chat and you would say, Brian, I'm going to lunch, so that we as the team know that we might see you in the studio, but you're not actually here.
Tell it to it.
I got you.
Otherwise, I start talking to you and I'm like, Ginger, are you there, Ginger?
Yeah.
You
Well,
with
if I
me?
lock my screen, it's gonna knock it out anyway, isn't it?
Well, but yeah, what my recommendation is you actually leave the studio.
Yeah.
That way I know you're gone.
Yeah. I got
Get
you.
out of here.
Alrighty, I'll be back after lunch.
All right, sounds good. Enjoy your lunch.
Alrighty.
Right?
All right, Mikey, what you got?
They wrote us up.
I got nothing.
Oh, you're actually doing work.
Yeah.
Misty left the damn studio.
What?
So it's down to us.
Down to us.
Oh, did Ginger email that to me? She didn't email it to me.
Call her right quick.
I don't have her number.
I'll call her. Oh, shit. I hate this.
Yep, call her real quick. Misty, did you need a dropout or?
Yeah, because I have to run to a meeting. It's a stupid meeting though, but I did fix that duck that you guys were just talking about earlier. It worked
Hey,
great.
Brian didn't have your number, so I told him I'd call you right quick. Are you still able to email that to him real quick?
Yeah, I'm sending it right now. Do you want me to copy you on it?
No. Don't copy me on. Just send it to him. That'd be perfect. Awesome.
Yeah, I was doing it right then.
Sweet. Yeah, he was like, "Oh no, she's not going to send." I'm like, "She will." Like, call her right quick. I'm like, "All right, I'll call her."
Yeah, I'm
right.
good.
Thanks.
I
Bye.
did send it. Bye.
You're awesome.
Sorry.
All right, she sent it.
All right.
But Brian, did
So-
you guys need an answer for that duck?
Jason, when Jason and Paul get back from lunch, that's why it makes sense to keep this studio alive so that we don't have to keep setting up additional meetings every time we get an answer.
Sure. Okay. You want me
So-
to just turn off my cam and mute when I'm away and then just come back, or you want me to leave?
No, you can go ahead and leave. And
Okay.
when if they come back in, I'll just tell them that you're not here yet.
Okay. But I mean, it just worked perfect. So I brought that thing all the way down. So
I'll tell you what. Why don't you share your screen with me and show it
Yeah.
to me, and I'll grab a couple screen captures of it.
yeah, that's what I want. Thank you so much. Let's see here.
Somehow we're watching Mike. Let's stop watching Mike. He's no fun to watch.
No fun.
Okay. So this worked excellent. So it just needs a 110. However angle you want to get it from.
I don't know that that's excellent though.
But they can make anything, huh?
But it's still causing you to have to run out beyond into that empty spot in the joist.
Not really. I mean, it's pretty.
That's
I mean,
not
it's
what he
pretty
wants.
low.
No, when I'm telling you, rotate your view so I can see a little bit more from the top.
Sure.
See, you've got an extra elbow in there that he doesn't want.
Oh.
That
Right
elbow
here.
off of the pair of pants.
Oh, right here. Yeah. I see what
He
you're saying.
wants
So go like
that
this.
thing to go straight down.
Okay.
He wants
Straight
that one
up.
rotated.
No,
that
I have to
ain't gonna do
rotate
it.
that guy. Okay.
You got to do the rotate button on it.
Like I used to. I saw when I saw a girl
It's
one
there.
time go
It's
like this
there.
and say draw duck. But okay.
No. That rotates right there, opposite the 24. Oh, I don't know about that.
Where do you want it to go?
Yep, south. Mm-hmm.
45?
No,
Nice.
straight down.
Okay.
Now you're going to see the problem. He wants that to go over there and connect to the other one.
Oh, okay.
There's your problem.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean,
So we need to make that angle a little bit more.
yes, because that right there, those are 1Ds. This right here is a 1D. Okay. 1D. Make it go down more. Okay.
Yep.
If I go like this, just drop it right here.
Can you? No, that's snapped right in.
Let me drop this one too.
Oh no, I think the angle needs to change on that thing. On your pair of pants, I think the angle needs to be even more spread in order to get
Okay.
that.
Well, see, I didn't want it to bust. Last time it seemed like it busted at 150.
That's because it's Mike's family. What about 155?
Thank you very much.
Okay, let me do that.
Punk.
No, busted. But maybe if I take this out, because I don't think it's gonna work. But
It can't go above 140. You can actually see where it's starting to break. So that's one that we'd almost need to fix the damn family on.
okay, I could do that, and then I could give me time, and then or you could fix it or whatever. You want me to upload this to the? Because you guys can take it down. I got to go for an hour.
It's a very valid point. I don't know that I want it, to be honest with you. I would say no, I don't want it.
Okay.
What we need to do is we need to fix that. And this is one that really, to be honest with you, Mike should be interested in, because Mike got to that same exact spot where he's like, as you change it to 145, 150, what is it doing? I think we should review that, because people don't know what to do when their family breaks like that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You can do that, but don't go. The new people might be a little too much. Maybe
I
Mike.
don't think that. I think that's where you got to understand. In this session, there's going to be stuff for new people. There's going to be stuff for beginners. There's going to be stuff for experts. There's going to be stuff no one's ever seen before. That's the interesting part about having these live stream sessions.
But here's the problem with this right here. That routing doesn't work. There's no room.
What do you mean there's no room?
You're hitting the steel. You got to come way down. And once you put is there insulation on this?
No, there's not even insulation.
Yeah, there's fireproofing. There's 3 inches of fireproof, or 2 inches of fireproofing.
So therefore, she has to route it the way it was routed. There's no other way around it, because it's sloped on top of that.
No, she needs to make the pair of pants split wider.
Well, you might as well have a T at that point, then it doesn't do anybody any good. I think the reason why the family doesn't work at a different angle, my opinion only, of course, is because
you're
it
wrong.
gets to be so
You're
flat.
wrong. You're wrong. No, you're wrong. You're wrong, because I'm telling you that pair of pants, we only need enough slope to give you a 1/4 inch per foot. And remember, Vortex is putting this into CNC, so Vortex can make anything that we draw. Right. The problem is that family breaks at that diameter at 155.
So maybe there's another. Maybe we want this to be just a horizontal, huh? No, it has to be a little angle. You're right.
It has to slope back to the. It has to slope so the grease flows back to the hood.
Yep.
Yeah, you good with that, Mike? Does that make sense to you? I don't want to go on if I'm wrong, because I can be just as wrong as anybody else. Misty, go for your meeting. I know you got your meeting. You go to your meeting. This is not of the hottest priority. I think that this is something that we should cover.
Anything you guys want me to do, take a snip, and then I can adjust anything, okay, and do stuff tonight. So.
Yep.
Okay. I like pictures to do. I don't like to be told. I like pictures. Okay. Thanks. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
So, Mikey,
you're gonna end your stream?
No, I don't really want to end my stream because I believe Paul and Jason were going to come back, and we were going to. Well, we were supposed to look at that grease duct, which I'm going to have to tell them I'm going to need to keep working on. Ginger was going to come back after lunch as well.
You going to work on the rest of that diffuser, I guess?
Well, what I wanted to do was where are you at? What do you got to do?
I'm getting ready to email this thing to Kevin right now.
All right.
Half of it. I got to do the other half. So.
When do you got to do the other half?
Like now, while we're doing this.
All right.
Just because he needs both sides by today, he says. Which is fine. Whatever.
He needs both sides today.
It's not like brain surgery here. It's pretty basic. I'm just tagging stuff for them to be able to utilize the walls to locate it. But obviously the stainless steel grease duct, whatever, that's like very important for them to start fabricating.
Yeah, like very important. It was supposed to be done 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, but yeah. So, but the routing she just had, like I said, I know Jason was dreaming of it going like just straight up through the roof, but with the other unit being there, that doesn't work that way. So, therefore, that really just doesn't work.
It'll work if you have it at that less sloped angle.
Now, that's not exhaust. That is the grease duct, right?
Yeah. That is exhaust. That's grease duct exhaust.
Oh, okay. So it's still considered exhaust. I gotcha. But it's grease.
Correct. Oh. Therefore, it needs the grease condensates on the side of the damn duct and needs to have a place to drip to. And that's why we slope it.
My curiosity is, it's at the back of the hood, and a lot of these there's a wall there. So, like, if you put an access panel back there for them to be able to get up there and clean that thing out and stuff like that, how do people get up there? There's no physical way anybody can get up there.
Oh, yeah, they have to get up there to. You go up the ACT ceiling in front of it.
Oh, okay.
You go up through the ACT, and then you would see all that duct work, and then the access panel's actually on the duct,
right?
So that you could open the access panel and spray a bunch of degreaser. Where's all that degreaser going to go?
Straight down.
It's going to drip back down to the exhaust, down onto the hood, and down onto the grill, so they can capture it, so they can clean it.
Okay. Before it catches on fire.
Before it catches on fire, exactly.
All right.
So
I'll buy that for $1.
If we go, Tyler joined us. You have a good lunch, Tyler?
Yes, sir. Japanese.
I would definitely recommend you go back and watch what Ginger and I did that because Ginger actually made that family. Ginger was successful in making her first family. We need to do the same thing with you. Get that same kind of success. And what I did was she actually drew while I told her what to do and sort of explained to her what was going on her screen. That's where we need to get a couple of those under your belt, and then you guys will feel more comfortable with drawing. But there's so much that I covered in there. Please try to later tonight go back and watch Ginger and I creating that family. Okay? Now, as a big picture point of thing, that's where we want to snip that piece of video and put it as an explanation how to begin starting to build families. That's part of our library. So, in other words, one of these sessions, we'll take a bunch of pieces out, and there'll be some intermediate level training, some expert level training, some beginner level training. Does that make sense to you? So, I'll go here.
Sorry, I'm back. I had to take a phone call.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. All I was saying is try to go back and watch what Ginger and I were doing.
10-4.
And Mike, just to give you a heads up, I know you're still drawing, but what I'm going to try to do is the geometry behind these diffusers, the stuff that the engineers couldn't do. I'm going to try to place these arrays in here of that family.
Gotcha.
So, generally, when I'm doing those geometric calculations, what I do is a lot of stuff with my annotation lines. I'm just drawing in plan view. These are annotation lines, Tyler. This is just for geometric construction. So I'm going to draw. I know I have one that is 39 feet 11. Boy, that looks interesting. So that means if I stretch this all the way down to the ground, yep, sure enough. That's where the diffusers in this face were. I'm going to double check this with a radial dimension.
When you and Ginger built that family, did you make it a face family?
No, absolutely not. What are you, crazy?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, please tell me you didn't.
Let's see. One of the things I'd probably want to do is set this to be the casino level. Try this again. Dimension radial. Do this front face. 39 foot 11. That's the radius that Spencer needs.
Gotcha.
And then the other one.
At least that's what we're pretending, right?
Is this one. Uh-oh. Why did no pick?
So, have you gotten an invite for the meeting today?
You know, I don't know.
I have not, so that's okay with me.
I'm checking. Nope, did not get one. I did get one for food services at 4:30. You know about that one?
Yeah, that's the one they never invite me to.
Do you need an invitation again or no?
No.
How can
Actually, if you don't mind, forward that to me.
I will then. I will in a little bit.
Whatever, not right now. Thank you, sir.
I don't know how to get that. That's pretty rich because of the type of object. There's no real good radius. Let's see, isolate this guy. I need that line right there. Annotate. Radio. Oh, sure enough, it gave it to me. How big? So the other radius is 25'7". So if we draw another detail line,
25 feet, 7 inches. So that's how they're coming up with their 307 inches and all that stuff.
Yeah, does that add up?
Yeah, 307 inches is 25'7".
Was it really?
Yep.
And the other one was 39'11".
Let's see, 39'11". 479 inches.
Is that what they had?
Can't remember. Seemed like it was pretty close.
All right.
But we need to confirm. I mean, obviously, give it to them again to make 100% sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do about the Jair one. StreamYard. Join when you can, Jair. So those are where the two walls are. So now what I want to do is I want to take Ginger's family. I forget. Can you drag that straight into here?
Yep.
No.
No, you can from Windows Explorer.
From a Windows Explorer, but not from email.
Not from the email? Oh, that's interesting.
I know. That's what I thought too. So if I drag it into my Windows Explorer, and then I drag it into there, and then I rotate that around.
This is what I can't wait to see.
We could turn the weight line off, and that's exactly where it would go. Now, what that is supposed to be is 53 objects around there, right? So you should be able to pick this, go to polar array, go to polar.
I've never gotten this to work.
All right, that's why I'm trying to do it. I figured people could, right? So we want this to be 53 of these. In 360 degrees. Place my center point. $53. Oh man, I remember how this. I think you got to go all the way around. Let's see, there's one. There's one. Try that again. Array. Place your center point. Type in the number 53. Type in 360 and hit enter. Did you catch it?
Yep.
So you can see we're pretty close. We just have a little bit of overlap between the one and the other. We just need to tell him what that arc length is, and that would be a continuous slots around there. Then we got the second guy. Obviously, she needed to make it so that that radius will fix, but this one needs to be. So we're going to do it again. Here we go. The trick is
13 inches deep?
Huh?
Is it 13 inches deep?
That's 13 inches deep.
Wow. I guess 48 and 13.
1'1".
Nice.
All right. Yeah, she actually did a good job. I'm hoping that she realizes that if we just it really works good if someone sort of shows you how to draw a little bit so that you start to have a little bit of comfort. Otherwise, you just glaze over.
Right.
So let's watch this again, Mikey. Pick, go to the array. The trick is you got to go to the polar array. You have to place your point first.
Gotcha.
If you're going to do a full circle. Then you go, this one has 40 in 360 degrees and hit enter. And that's going to be the problem one. The reason I say that is because the old because this is the bar. All right. Let me get a good cutting plane, cut, drag down, that one, cut. All right. Let me just show you just the mechanical and the framing. What's going to happen is it's going to mean that he would have to, maybe that, no, that's not going to work. See, what I was hoping is that there would be enough room for his framing to go by right there. And there won't be. But if we did this and said, this is always a fun one. How do you get that? You have to select that. The tab. That's it right there. That's what I want. Then I can type in, if it was 39 of those, you would have almost enough. So you'd have to go to 38 diffusers. And then would you have enough room for a 2.5 inch? Actually, no, that's a lie. Detail line, 2.5. Actually, it'd probably be like, I'm gonna draw it as a 2x4. See what I'm thinking, Mike? Is there would have to actually be like a stud, like right in there, in order for him to support that ceiling, right? Then he would actually have another stud that would get interrupted right there. Boy. Yeah, see, because they didn't do any of this geometry when they drew it up. That's why when you look at it in this thing, you'll find that they've got these big gaps at some spots. And these two are existing at the same spot. They've got this little bit of an overlap. Because they couldn't get their array command to work. See, they did it again. They got it 2 spots. Doggone it. That's not even at 90 degrees. They got a gap there. They got a gap there. Oh, gosh, garbage. What else did he want to cover? Do you remember? He wanted to cover the access panels. Mike, you available?
I'm sorry. I'm talking and I'm on mute here.
Oh.
Sorry. The access panels is what he wanted to cover and try to understand why we weren't moving them.
Yeah, well, he was trying to say you guys need to move them to what we already gave you markups to.
Right, and it doesn't work. Sorry.
Some of them don't work. Some of them there's not enough information.
Correct. So, but yeah, that's the only thing that I think he wants to go over with us.
Well, we had a couple things to go over with him. I'm trying to debate whether to end this stream. Let's you know what, you had one for me. You did have one question for me.
Oh yeah, let's see if I still have that.
What was that question? It was something about a connector or something.
Yeah, so let's share my screen. Show me.
All right.
All right. So I have this lovely situation right here, right? So the first one that I built was this one right here, which is a check valve, right?
Inline check valve. Mm-hmm.
So here's the beautiful little check valve that I built.
Right.
I'm not crazy about the color, but I'm trying to make it look like it's brass or bronze or whatever.
Uh-huh.
I have it selected as valve breaks into, right? Obviously I don't have any parameters in here because
I need to see your view, top view. Okay. Your reference level. You drew it wrong.
Okay.
It needs to be drawn side to side. So why don't we just try this? Once you do this, save it, and we'll push it into a test project just to verify this. But I'm pretty sure if you rotate all that 90 degrees, it'll work.
Okay, so can I just rotate it right now, or why you say save it?
I think you can rotate it. Yeah, like I said, let's do a save as, so we don't mess your stuff up.
Oh, I don't care. It's I've not done much.
After that center point. That's all right. Remove those references. Do a save as. Maybe put the word test at the end of it or something like that, or experiment, or I don't know. And say save, and then try to push it into a project, see if it'll work then. Kansas. That don't matter. Now you should be able to try to hit one of those pipes.
So
that's what you were looking for it to do, right?
Oh, see what it did?
You're just too close to the elbow.
So you're just saying I need to be closer, like down lower?
Yeah. Right about there it should work.
I gotcha. Okay. Because that was what's happening right there. Because I was so close to this right here. Because this right here was like up here, and it would just eat up and consistently like take this right here. And now then, of course, here's the other question. Like, so then I built this family here, and you see how the pipe is red, hot water, obviously, and then the valve kept the same color.
Yeah.
These over here picked up the blue from the blue. Why would it do that?
Well, the one that doesn't, it means it's connected to two different systems.
I will turn red.
That's because it's one system. If you pick that,
Oops.
You know why it did that, right? Because it added those reducers.
Yeah. Just hit undo a couple of times here. This should be good. This 2 inch. All right. So maybe so what I did here for this one right here.
Look, that one wasn't connected. That's why it was there. It'll work now. Edit that. See, for some reason it's going undefined. You see how it says undefined?
I wonder because this one right here is
hydronic return.
Yep.
Versus hydronic supply. And what you wanted your things to be is fittings. Oh, you made it global. No, that shouldn't have happened.
Really?
You made I don't normally go global. I normally go fitting.
Okay, we'll try that. Oh, that's the other one. What am I doing?
Yeah, you're going to be in the wrong one if you're not careful.
No kidding. Oops. Dang.
And you know what happens if you leave that in there? It makes your damn file blow up.
Well, this is what Eric convinced Angie because he saw it. Like he opened up one of my families. I left a PDF in there.
Yep.
And
I remember. I remember.
He says, "Yeah, all Mike does is he'll just put the little picture in there, and then that's how the family gets created." Jerk.
Uh-huh.
Thanks a lot, Eric.
When you do that, when you delete that out, you got to purge it. You know that, right?
Oh, I do? I did not know that.
Yep.
That's probably what right there, because this right here was still hydronic supply.
That's correct. That's correct. That's what was causing it. That is what was causing it.
All right. So how do I purge it in family?
Manage.
Manage. Still same thing. Okay.
Because all of those raster images, it's a bug in the software. It's where Autodesk is despicable. And I'd like to, that's why I like having this stuff up, is because you're not alone. But if you don't purge that out, you will wonder why your file's so big. And when you purge in your project, it doesn't purge that stuff out.
Right.
Now, when you add it, it's going to work.
There it is.
Right?
Beautiful. All right, let's see about this elevation. This right here is, I will say it's pretty crazy. So this right here is obviously the mixing valve, right?
Yeah.
But what I ended up doing was having it to where that was coming out of the wall because they're not going to put this in a recessed cabinet.
Yeah.
So since it's just facing it's going to be mounted to the wall, I've got the temp coming out and going back into the wall going up, but I got the cold water coming out here, so I can have access to all the valves and everything else. And then the hot water coming out the same way here, so everything's accessible. So I sent that over to Kevin earlier. Hopefully he'll like it.
No recessed cabinet?
Nope.
Why not?
Great question.
They didn't want one?
Well, the cabinet that they selected, or I think it needs to, for this right here, is 10 inches deep.
It's too deep.
And the wall is only like 3.5 or maybe 6 inches.
Because it's not in the chase.
Right.
Not in the chase wall.
Anyway, I thought that was pretty interesting. But all right, so that's the mistakes I made then. So I need to just put fittings on those right there, and then that worked perfect. Change the color, everything else, and then the other thing was I was just selecting it too high. I need to go down lower. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's a combination. You got to remember that when you're drawing those fittings, they're going to work much better for you if you're facing that direction.
Gotcha.
And instead of it being rotated front to back.
All right. So if let's see, we just rotate it. Okay, cool. All right, yeah, that's what I was having issues with there, because I mean I thought I did a fairly decent job, with the sucker, but and again, I'm not trying to get real complicated here with all the crazy detail, whatever. I just wanted to make sure I knew what my handle length was, what this thing stood off from the pipe, and then obviously the.
Well, that is a common problem with most of the valve families, is that there's no clearance box showing you where the valve swings to in the open and closed position.
Right.
So if you're not real careful, you could put another pipe in the way of where that valve is, and then you can't use the valve.
Correct.
Now, they do make solutions for that. They make little handle extensions so that you can put a longer handle on it to get it out of that way. But it's sort of that bug of clash detection that no one ever thinks about, the fact of where is the valve in the open position, where's the valve in the closed position, and do I have room for it to open and close?
Well, my biggest concern just was, like I needed this in there, I needed this right here and there, and then I had the T here. So I was, restricted to this right here because this pipe originally was a little bit higher. So I had to come down just a little bit to kind of give me a little piece of pipe in between all of that right there.
That's actually a perfect spot to see that. You see the light pink valve?
Yeah.
Can you close that valve, or does the valve handle hit the blue line?
Right. Yeah. And again, I've created this one right here. Now I need to create one that's a 3/4 inch, the same, because mines aren't parametric.
Yep.
Unfortunately, so I haven't created this valve yet. So the handle, I believe, is much shorter than
and you see, you're getting into something that I think that most people get frustrated with, because when it's it's really nice how that valve works when it's in the right size line. Like you said, it wasn't parametric, but because you delete it and it heals the pipe.
Right.
But when you put that in the wrong size line, then it messes up. Then when you delete the damn valve, you're left with the 2 reducers and it doesn't heal the pipe.
Yep.
And that's something that we're going to want to eventually get into. That's the kind of stuff I don't think there's many people answering those questions. So, but my thinking is, I'm hesitant to do this, but I could really use a half-hour break.
Okay.
Why don't you real quickly write an email to Jair and say, I thought we were getting together at 2. We haven't seen an invitation.
Okay.
Because I do think that it'd be worthwhile getting into that invitation, because I got some questions for him about some of those ducts I needed to move, and there's one I can't find.
All right.
And we wanted to go over the access panels.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right. Thanks, man. Talk to you soon.
All right, shoot that to him, and I'm going to end this stream.
All right, great, man. Bye.
Later, bud.